whenever I take out the Baltoro 70, instead of just a 3-liter Camelback, I will bring the whole enchilada. And I will do a separate review on this sucker. But the idea is, if I'm taking the Baltoro 70, I am going out. And I am going to set up a camp, possibly a bivouac site. And if I want to day hike out of there while I'm set up there, this is my perfect day hike rig. But suffice to say, there's a bunch of pockets with an additional saw pouch on the outside. It just gives so many options. One of the key options being this strap right here. This strap right here makes it possible to bring weather protection. So, you can strap your poncho on there. You can strap your fleece jacket on there. You can, bring a long sleeve shirt, bring a poncho liner, whatever. And just your options are open for any kind of emergencies, plus ample room for snacks and life support and first aid and stuff like that, all in a small, affordable package. So this is what I'll put in my pack as my Camelback when I take the Baltoro 70 out. So it sits, you'll notice, a little bit taller in the saddle here. All right. And now I just have to route the straw through the port here. I don't know why, I'm a right-handed port guy. And done. All right, so the rest of it remains the same, except when I take the Baltoro 70 out, that means that I have room for the Montezuma of tents, meaning the Seed House SL3. But before we even do that, normally when you pack a pack like this that has a zipper compartment for your sleeping bag, you will normally start with your sleeping bag, because what it does is it flattens out the bottom and it helps you stand your pack up. Okay, so because I'm going to put my sleeping bag in there, I'm going to put my protection, my ground cloth, my poncho in the same compartment. Okay, let me get the sleeping bag ready, because I'm actually going to use the REI, the Radiant 20, and I'll show you the difference between that one and the Halo Recon 3. Okay, we're back with the packing. I've packed my REI sleeping bag, Radiant 20, in the giant stuff sack. Compare this to the Recon 3. It's tiny. All right, it's tiny. But what this does is this allows it to fill the whole bottom compartment, and it makes quite an effective shelf to set the pack up on, because it fills up the whole cavity. So let's go ahead and pack it. So normally I start out at the bottom of the pack after I get the Camelback in and everything. And I just use this bag to fill up the whole cavity. Even though I can scrunch this thing down a lot more, I like it big. That sounded wrong, but yeah. Alright, so the sleeping bag fills up the whole compartment, and I make sure that the poncho on the bottom is an effective deterrent against punctures. So it's on the bottom there, kind of as a big pad for the sleeping bag. and it acts, the sleeping bag winds up acting like the poncho liner in the other packing applications. So it fills up this whole bottom, and now I can sit it up and it won't fall over. It's freestanding now because that whole bottom is filled up. All right, so we've got the sleeping bag compartment filled. We have the Camelback in there. All right, and we're going to do this. We're going to do the same things that we did with the other water reservoir sacks. All right, we're going to use the Camelback. What we are going to do first, though, is we're going to put the poles for the sleeping bag, or the tent poles for the Seed House SL3. They're kind of long. All right, they kind of, let me show you. Here's the side of the bag. They kind of go all the way through the whole thing. So we don't want to put them inside the actual water bladder pouch, but we can put it behind the pouch. That way, it'll slip all the way down and actually make contact with that sleeping bag at the bottom there. So it's pushing down on the sleeping bag now. And then we can take the fire or the wood cutting kit, the K-bar heavy Bowie, put it where we normally put it within the water bladder pouch, along with the Camelback Assault there, and it'll go all the way down. But with the Camelback straps, you got to be careful that it doesn't snag and avoid tearing your bladder pouch at all costs, because that would suck. All right, so fitting this down in there so it goes all the way to the bottom. All right. So you got the poles in between the knife and the saw vibrer, and then the Camelback is sitting on there. Okay. So the rest of the pouch now, the main compartment, the largest thing really is the tent. So that's going to go in the middle, and you can see the difference. All right. This is it says it's a 3-man tent, but it's really a 2-man tent. All right. And this also has a, I made my own footprint for it out of just normal tarp material, but Seed House SL3. It's not light. I mean, compare it to, you know, Copper Spur UL1. It's just not, there's no comparison really. So that's going to go in the middle, the center section there. Because it's the heaviest, we want it to be in the middle of our back, and we want it to be high, so that's why we put it on top of the sleeping bag there. So that's in there like that. And then we have the other things that are comparably sized. So again, the poncho liner. This sucker can compress. All right. So we stick it in there on one side. Right, and it's going to compress. And we have the fleece jacket goes on the other side. So that looks pretty low, but if you can see, I don't know if you can see this very well, but I am able to compress the poncho liner over here to the same height as the jacket. So it'll fit all the way down in there, you know what I'm saying? And what we can do with the pot this time, since we have such a height difference, is we can stick it in one side and actually fill it with stuff. So we can take our fuel cell and put it in there. We can take our MSR pocket rocket, the stove, and actually stuff it in there. What else can we put in there? I don't know, you can use your imagination to stuff things in there. How's about an extra pair of gloves? Here are these Nomex gloves. These will be in there. Just holding holding it down so it doesn't rattle around, doesn't scratch your pot, and then you just put the lid on. Keep a lid on it, man. Bloop, just like that. All right. Then we can take our extra underwear and put it on the other side. Always trying to keep things symmetrical, keep things balanced, keep the weight centered and balanced. All right. Comparable size stuff. Rain pants. Water filter, which if you're traveling and you're gonna probably need your water filter. If you notice, these things are like in the order of precedence that you're gonna use, right? You're not gonna need your tent till when you stop. You probably need your pot before then to cook on the way up. You never know if it's gonna start raining, all right? And even then, yeah, your poncho's on the bottom, but you know what? What if you had another one? If you had another poncho. Now again, your choice. You can leave it rolled or you can unroll it. All right, and lay it flat. Depends on how much room you have. All right, don't forget you still gotta pack some food in here. And also, don't forget if you're gonna be in bear country, you're gonna have to fill this sucker with a bear canister if you're traveling with food. All right. Happy knee pads for camp chores, and maybe a larger canteen if you're going to be in camp for an extended stay. Instead of just dealing with your liter water bottles, maybe have a gallon in the camp just to do other things, cleaning up, personal hygiene, that kind of stuff. All right. So this has two seals, one and then another one on the outside. All right, now if I am going extended stay, I know that I'm going to use my sleeping pad, my air mattress, the Sinmat 7. So I'm not going to put this on the bottom because I don't want any punctures if I set it on the ground. So I'm going to make sure this is secured on top. All right, and this pack has a strap for that. Xped Sinmat 7, protect it with your life. It's very comfortable. All right, so now that that's set, now we can close the hood, or the lid I should say, on top of it to add protection. There's one. And there's two. All right, now because of this though, your lid is really deformed because of the sleeping mat. So you gotta be careful on how you pack this and figuring out how much stuff you're actually gonna be able to fit in there. So what I'll do is I'll put my leather gloves on the bottom because I'll probably not use that until I get to where I'm going. Maybe chop some wood and stuff like that for safety. Then of course comes the Basha. The Basha is really for any kind of emergency shelter. You know, the sky suddenly opens up and you don't have time. You can quickly pull that out and make a roof so you can tend to other details, you know, once you get out of the water. It's a big thing. Headlamp. Batteries. Mosquito net. Don't forget your map, although this will normally stay in my pocket. Eating utensils. Alright. Fleece cap. And that's about it that's going to fit in this sucker. It's not going to be the same all the time. It really depends on your load configuration. But that's pretty much loaded to bear right there. Alright, now, one thing about this awesome pack, remember the Z55 had a side zip. Well, this one has a big panel right here that'll let you access all your stuff in the main body of the pack. And you'll be able to open it up completely. So you can get to everything without having to go through the lid and all that pain in the ass factor. One of the pluses of this system. Alright, but then you have this pocket right here. So what's going to go in there? You got it. The doo-doo kit. Steri pen, chem light for emergencies, tinder. This might also remain in my pocket, because I normally carry a fire steel and a pocket knife on me at all times. Got the first aid kit here. Alright, loaded for bear, man. There are also these side pockets, which I haven't really talked about, but normally I will carry my grub in here. Here's an example of some grub we got going. Alright, some Happy MRE crackers and a Mountain House. What is it? Spaghetti with meat sauce, baby, yeah. So that'll stay in there. I've got 2 more meals on the other side pocket there. But we still got some room, so we can slip our glove inserts and neck gaiter in there. Again, these are waterproof or water-resistant zippers. Alright. And then gaiters, but normally if I'm going that far, I'm wearing these normally, so. And that is about it. One thing I didn't mention was on either of the bags is a compass. I always take a lensatic compass along with my GPS, just in case the batteries die on the GPS. I can still navigate my way with the map. So always take the lensatic compass, and normally I put it in the right side pocket here. I don't know if you can see it, but normally I put it in this pocket here, and it is attached to the zip pull with the lanyard. That's normally how I roll. Okay, once you get your pack done, then you could add your accessory type things, like, well, I won't say accessories, but your outside stuff, because there's much more storage on the outside. Some people ask, well, what do? Do you put your pad first, or your axe, or your trekking poles, or what? I always put the tools first. Again, this is that genuine Wetterling's axe, so I'll use the gear loop again. Stick the shaft through the gear loop all the way to the bottom, fold it up. And then what's awesome about the Baltoro is it has these Velcro loops right here. And that makes things super easy. Then I take my condensed foam pad, I always do, to protect my air mattress from punctures. And I'll hook it up there with the strap all the way over, making sure it's centered. Oh. And the sucker's tight. Alright. So you want to make sure your pad is good and centered. Alright. And there it is. And now it'll stand up on its own. I'll just sit. Bloop. Because it is loaded for bear. I will do a formal review of this pack, the Z55, and the Taran 36 on separate videos. I've been asked to do a review of the Marine Corps Assault Pack as well that you saw in my USMC ILB system video. Somebody asked me to do a specific video just on that, so that's coming as well. So look forward to that. And thanks for paying attention, watching my videos. We'll see you out there. Get out and hike.